Hey, what is going on, Guardians? Gray here with another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving a quick guide so that you can start the quest to go get the Ruinous Effigy trace rifle. It's a new exotic trace rifle that we just got access to today, and it is pretty badass. It's one of the cooler weapons I've seen in Destiny 2 this far. It's super unique in how it functions, and it has this perk right here, transmutation, and final blows with this weapon will collapse the victim into a void sphere that you and your teammates can pick up and then use as a second weapon. You can swing the orb, you can create a bubble with it that sort of blocks and defends your allies. You can slam it on the ground to deal AoE damage. It's a very cool weapon. So I just want to give a quick rundown of the first few steps of the quest to help you bang it out as quickly as possible, because it is a little bit of a lengthy quest. It's not difficult by any means, but there's a lot of steps and there's certain things you can do to sort of optimize your time. So hopefully you don't get stuck wasting a bunch of time on one of the steps of the quest. So if you enjoy the video, leave a like below for me, and if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on all the latest Destiny 2 news. This is going to be my first sort of guide towards an exotic weapon. I've never really done one like this before, so bear with me. I'll try to lay it out as simply as I can, but getting right into it, let's look at the first step of the quest. So right off the bat, right when you log into the game, you'll be able to go to the tower and visit the prismatic recaster down in the annex and pick up the quest. Pick up the first step to start the quest for the Ruinous Effigy. It's right at the recaster. You can pick it up, and the first step is going to be to complete the interference mission on Io. Now, if you don't know, the interference mission is the weekly mission that we pick up from the recaster every week so far this season. And in order to gain access to it, you need to complete the means to an end quest. And that's just the weekly mission that we have to go do the contact public event and then gain the umbral traces as well. And then you can access that interference mission on Io. So right off the bat, you're going to want to hop over to Titan. The public event contact has now switched over to Titan. So you're going to want to head over there to start on the contact event. You should only need 2 heroic completions of the public event to complete that step. And then for the umbral traces this week, you can do Reckoning. Makes it very quickly. You can go to tier 2 or tier 3 of Reckoning to get those umbral traces done very quickly, and you can move on to doing the interference quest on Io. It's pretty straightforward up until here. You're just going to go run it like you normally do, run through the interference mission, and as soon as you're done, you'll get the next step of the quest, which is called Pendulum. And this step is going to require you to collect 25 calcified light fragments that are scattered all throughout the system. They're on Io, Titan, Mars, and Mercury, and they're super easy to find. When you pull out your ghost, it's going to actually give a marker right on your screen where the calcified light fragments are. You might have to move around a little bit to get them to pop up, but there's 25 in total, but there's 5 on Titan, 5 on Mars, 5 on Mercury, and 10 calcified light fragments on Io. Just so you're not wasting your time, know that there's only 10 on Io. The rest of the planets only have 5 for a total of 25 total. And once you get all 25 of them, the next portion of that step is to kill 15 of Savathun's marionettes. Now this is sort of the most time-consuming section of this quest. The marionettes can be kind of frustrating, and you may have seen them in the contact public event, but that's actually not the best way to beat them. You need to kill 15 of them again to finish this quest step. But the most reliable way me and my buddies found to get them to spawn is actually if you go on Titan. I believe right now the contact public event is taking place on the Siren's Watch section of Titan, which means if you go over to the rig, the other area of Titan, you can actually get the marionettes to spawn pretty frequently. And I'm going to show some footage here in the background so you can kind of see how we do it. But when you're running around the rig, you can just kind of go in a circle, and you're going to see these taken blights that are going to spawn just around the area. I think there's 3 different spots where they can spawn, and when you blow them up, it's going to start to spawn taken mobs, and if you continue to clear them out, eventually one of Savathun's marionettes will show up, and you can kill it right there. If you're running around the rig and you're not getting the taken blights to spawn, the best thing we did was just to ride your Sparrow, back across the bridge to the Siren's Watch area. Make sure you load into that area and turn around and head straight back into the rig. And you'll have a new instance, and you can see some of those taken blights hopefully start to spawn again. This is time consuming. It takes a little bit of time and effort and coordination. And if you have a team, it'll make it a little bit quicker, but you can just run around here until you get those 15 marionette kills. Alternatively, if you really don't mind, you could do the contact public event, but I think max maybe 1 or 2 of the actual marionettes spawn during the event, where if you're lucky, you could get 3 just from one run around of the rig. That's just what we did to get it done. I know it's a little complicated, but it's not too bad once you figure out how to get the cycle going and you can get them all taken out. And it should take you, it took us about 45 minutes to get it all done, and we were pretty unlucky. So hopefully with any luck, you can get it done faster. Once you get all of those quest steps done, there is one final step for the quest, and it looks daunting at first, but it's really not that bad. Once you've killed all the marionettes of Savathun and got all your calcified light fragments, you need to get Void Precision multi-kills, Void kills in general, and you need to complete either Gambit, Gambit Prime, or Reckoning. In my mind, the easiest way to do this was to hop into a tier 3 Reckoning run and use full Void weapons. I used the Gnawing Hunger and Hammerhead, and it knocked it out. I think it'll take 3 runs through 3 completions of a tier 3 Reckoning to complete that portion of the quest. And while you're doing it, if you're just focusing on getting your Void Precision kills, you'll knock out the rest of it as well. It's not too bad. You might want to put a team together just so you're organized enough to actually complete the tier 3 of Reckoning. Make sure you at least have a Well of Radiance Warlock running with you to make the bridge portion super easy. But once you complete it a couple times, you'll have all of the quests done, and that's the final step. Then you go back to the tower, back to that recaster, and you can claim the Ruinous Effigy from the recaster. And that's going to do it, guys. Once you finish that step, you'll finally have your hands on the Ruinous Effigy itself, and I have to say it's probably one of the coolest weapons that I've messed around with in Destiny in quite a while. I've got some footage here of me just messing around. Literally first impressions, I went straight down to IO just to goof around with it. And as you can see, when you kill an enemy with it, they're going to turn into one of those little void spheres. And you actually have a few different attacks you can do when you pick up the sphere. You can do sort of a light swing with your left click. You can just smack them around with it. If you do a right click, you'll smash the ball on the ground and do a bit of an AoE. And if you hold your guard button or your melee button, it actually creates sort of a bubble shield around you that damages everyone that's trapped inside of the bubble, and like it drains their health and can protect your enemies. It's kind of ridiculous. It's really, really strong, and it's going to be a ton of fun to mess around with. And I also want to point out that as soon as I went down to IO, picked up one of those spheres and killed an enemy with it, the catalyst for the Ruinous Effigy dropped as well. And it's a super easy catalyst to complete. You can either kill those Savathun eyes that you've seen all throughout the game since the beginning of the season. You can take those out to gain progress, or just straight getting kills with the weapon will also progress the catalyst. I recommend going and getting the eyes, though. There is a triumph to take out all 50 of them. Me and my fire team are going to go knock it out later today, and I'm going to do a review on the fully masterworked version of the Ruinous Effigy once I get my hands on it. So hopefully I explained this well enough. I don't want anyone to waste their time or take too long trying to get it done. It took us about 2 hours from start to finish to get the whole thing done. And if you have a dedicated fire team, you should be able to knock it out pretty quick. Like I said, we were pretty unlucky with a lot of our steps, so you may be able to do it faster. But that's going to be the quick and dirty of getting this quest done as quickly as possible so you can get your hands on this badass new weapon. Moments of Triumph just came back into the game today, and this gun should make going back to some of the old raids a lot of fun. I'm excited to see how it functions in the sandbox. Like I said, I'm going to do a full review once I get my hands on the masterworked version of it. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope the video helped you out. If it did, again, leave a like below and consider hitting that subscribe button for me so I can keep you up to date on all the going-ons in Destiny 2. Thank you again for stopping by. Take care.